Mike Owens here. Today I'm joined by Junior Dos Santos, who returns to action. Bareknuckle MMA 5, 8th of September versus Fabricio Werdum. Junior, a pleasure to sit down and get some of your time. How things are you today?
Things are going good. Thank you, man, for having me.
The pleasure's all mine. I guess the first question I would like to ask, because the last time we saw you was the Jorgen De Castro fight last year. How is everything with the shoulder injury? Are you up to 100% with the shoulder now?
Yeah, it's going good now. It took some long time and a lot of work to to get better. But now I'm feeling good. I'm pushing hard on training, and the shoulder has been strong enough to to help me on that matter.
I know, but obviously turning to the Fabricio Werdum fight itself, a little bit of a strange one, a rematch 15 years in the making from the original fight back in 2008. What was your first reaction when BKM Bare Knuckle MMA came to you and said that they wanted to offer you a Fabricio Werdum rematch?
I really liked it. You know, it was not a surprise because they have been actually the MMA world, have been talking about this rematch for a long time. We have some opportunities to make it happen in the UFC. It didn't happen, and I became champion. Then he became champion, and it was always something on top of it. The people were talking about, probably a rematch, and it never happened. And now, Masvidal is putting it together, and I feel like it's a great moment. It's a great fight for all the fans, and also I think it's for the moment I think it's the best opponent we have out there. On my case, I mean, for me, because there's a history behind of us, and people love this kind of of challenge, and it makes me very excited, to go there. It's different as well because it's going to be bare knuckle, and that was actually the biggest surprise for me, actually difference for me. And I was at the beginning I had to work my mind a little bit for that, and but as soon as I saw it's kind of the same, just a little bit more of blood and the danger of breaking your hands or something like that. So that was the only difference actually I saw. So I said, yeah, that's all good. And the opponent is great. The date of the fight is great. The place, Florida, where I live, it's great. So everything looks good. Let's go.
I did want to ask about the fact that the fight is bare knuckle MMA because we've obviously seen the rise of bare knuckle boxing over the last few years. We haven't really seen this in an MMA setting. So how much more dangerous or how different does it make the likes of ground and pound or submission attempts in MMA?
I think it gives you a little bit more of for the grappling side, a little bit more of freedom to work on your skills, to work on getting some good position and some good grip to hold the positions, things like that. And also, the punches that we're going to be throwing on the standing fight or in the ground, it's going to be much more damage coming from that, so I think it's interesting, people, like you said, people is being really enjoying to see this kind of a fight, like we are kind of going back to the beginning of the MMA era.
Mm.
And today I see as a privilege, to do as they did at the beginning of the sport.
100%. And obviously, when we talk about the rematch, I always find situations like this pretty interesting, Junior, because from a Fabricio Werdum standpoint, I can see why he would want this rematch. He's looking to avenge an 82nd KO defeat. I'm wondering why you would want the rematch, because it might be quite difficult for you to better what was a fantastic night for you in 2008.
Yeah, I don't think about this fight as a rematch or something like that. It was 15 years ago.
Mm.
It's a long time. Everything is different today, and I see as a good fight. I think Verdun is a fighter that conquered so many amazing things on his life. You know, he's probably the most dangerous jiu-jitsu guy in the whole MMA, heavyweight MMA scenario. And for me, it's a great challenge, you know. And the moment I'm coming from, you know, I want to just keep going on my journey on the sport. And this fight looks, for me, looks great, you know, and it's calling a lot of attention of the fans, and he must call because it's going to be a good fight, you know. 100%. People cannot miss it because it's the type of fight that makes everybody stand on their chairs.
I couldn't agree more. I guess at this stage of your career, are the kind of legend versus legend matches, are they the ones that interest you the most, maybe fighting all the legendary names of the heavyweight division?
Actually, you know, the main thing I was willing to do, it was going to a boxing fight. To, you know, to try myself on the sport that I have as my main sport. But you know, it's not that simple. We thought it was a little bit less complicated to get a boxing fight, but it's very complicated as well. And you know, the opponents needs to agree. You know, some of the top guys looks like they don't want to fight me, you know, and the lower level guys like that would accept to fight me. The promoters, they don't want to make it happen, so it's kind of hard, you know, and to get that type of fight. And I think especially because I always feel, because you know, I'm always training the grappling things, also the kicks, the defense, the wrestling, the jiu-jitsu part, you know. And I think all these other things, it kind of hold back all my real potential to show my real boxing, you know, in the ring, because I'm always kind of tight, you know, because of the grappling and things. So I never showed like 100% of my boxing skills in the ring. And I think I can do much better than I have been doing. And but this fight right now, it's very excited for me because like I said, you know, the opponent, everything looks good on the fight. And as soon as you know, this boxing process is not working, and that's another great thing about being on the game bred promotions. You know, they're also doing boxing and things. You know, I'm very excited to be part of it. You know, they are very serious guys. You know, they're working hard to make everything nice. And they had this challenge for me. I accepted, and I think we will be able to build some very nice moments and nice fights.
I love it. And you mentioned there about potentially crossing over into the boxing world. We obviously have a massive fight in October. I'm sure you've been asked about, between Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou. I did see in another interview that you said that you don't give Ngannou too much of a chance in this fight. So I won't ask you for a prediction in as much as how do you anticipate that fight actually playing out on October 24th?
Well, yeah, the chances I see for Ngannou is the main thing that he has, you know, in my opinion, of course, you know, it's the power, the knockout power. He needs to go to rush for that, you know, look for Tyson Fury to kind of put him in the corner and throw those big hands, you know, trying to make him feel the punches, you know, because otherwise I don't see that boxing skills on Ngannou. I cannot see that. And he also, you know, on some fights, because it's too much muscle, you know, he gets tired pretty soon, you know. And we are talking about Tyson Fury, someone who's huge and who moves very well, you know, who deals very well with his weight, with his size, everything. Has a long arms, you know, he can reach you from far away. So it's a tough fight for, actually. He is who he is because of, you know, because he's amazing on those points. And for Ngannou, we never, you know, saw him on boxing. Of course, But what I have been seeing of him as a, of his boxing part, there's, boxing is that's what people don't understand. It's boxing is a completely different thing. Like Conor McGregor, remember? He had the knockout power as well. But when he fought Floyd Mayweather, man, we can see something like that because they are getting paid so big money that they have to deliver a show. So they need to go like a few rounds, like Mayweather did with Conor McGregor. Conor, you really believe like Conor went 10 rounds with him because of his merits or time? No way, like Mayweather was taking his time, and delivering a show for the people. And that was great, and that's why Conor was able to Mayweather also knew, that he had the knockout power. And but boxing is different, and Mayweather kind of allowed him like the fight to go, and it was little by little break him out, and we can see something like that happening with Tyson Fury and Ngannou. Tyson Fury like delivering the show and allowing people to really see the show, to have some exciting moments or things like that. We can see something like that, and I really believe we can go that way because the money is there, so they have to entertain us, and that's what I see. The opportunities. Also, fight is fight. I to tell you the truth, I'm rooting for Ngannou. I want to see him winning everything what he has been doing to the sport and like imposing his will to make things happen. That's amazing, something that we never see in the sport. So I'm rooting for him. I'm being sincere here. I'm not like against him or something like that. No way. I want to see him winning, but the chances I see are so little.
Thank you. I completely agree, and thank you so much for the analysis. Last question from me, Junior. I'm conscious you're a very busy man. It was confirmed that this fight there will be no USADA testing for your upcoming fight against Fabricio Werdum. I guess at this stage of your career, how beneficial or how important is it for you to be able to use those supplements or those supplements in that way to kind of improve your training and your overall recovery?
Yeah, that's great actually. To be able, that's a very sensitive, a very important point for me, because USADA is different. USADA comes to your house all the time. They're testing you to make sure that you're not using anything or something like that, for you to get to the fight. We're going to be tested. We are going to be tested for the athletic commission as any other show. We're going to be tested, for if you're taking something that's illegal, probably, they must take you or whatever. USADA comes to your house all the time, and then they have a huge list. And you cannot take pre-workouts. You cannot take nothing to burn your fat. You cannot take nothing to improve your strength. Nothing like that, because you can get caught for that or something like that, And what happened? What I have as an example was what happened with me back in the day. They took me out 1 year off of the competition because they found, look what they found, traits of a very cheap diuretic, traits of a very cheap diuretic that they, on my mind, in the people that I've been talking with and trying to understand with back in the day and now, even now, that was impossible for them to not know I wasn't in anything. That kind of the diuretic doesn't hide anything. Diuretic for that, that's what I understand. To hide when you take something, you take diuretic, so then you pee a lot or sweat a lot or something like that, then it goes out of your body, something like that. And but that was a cheap diuretic that I would have to take like liters of that to hide something on me. And you think they didn't know that? Of course they did. but they still took me out 1 year of competition. So that was so strange for me, so bad, and it made me so sad, because one of the things I was always proud of was to keep my integrity on the things that I was doing. I was always doing. I was there 100%. I was champion of the world, 100% myself, without taking short ways or things like that. Whatever these guys do. But they used to do. But taking that as an example, today I see it was great. I was able to take my supplements. I was able to take everything was what I was avoiding, taking before. I was able to take it. And on the day of the fight, on the week of the fight, we're still gonna be tested. We're still gonna make things clear for everybody, and then we're gonna fight. That's for me and my age, I'm 39 now. It was a very important moment, and I can feel myself great. I'm strong. I'm doing great. I take my things, and my pre-workout. I go to the gym. I spar hard. It's important. It's somehow at this point. Back in the day, it didn't make big difference, but today it makes a big difference.
Before I let you go, and to that point, can I just see the guns?
Of course, bro.
Whose guns are bigger, mine or yours?
Yeah, no way. You're little. No, I'm kidding.
Junior, I was 8 years of age for your first fight against Fabricio Werdum, and to be able to sit here and speak with you, and to cover this upcoming fight next Friday gives me immense joy. I wish you the best of luck for next Friday night, and thank you for giving me some of your time.
Thank you very much, man. Take care.